listen, we had some egregious officiating across. I understand, and I'm really one that is reluctant to get down into like officiating, complaining. I get that. There were a lot of them that I gotta believe JD Collins, the director of officiating, is hating his Monday right now because he's going through a lot of this stuff because we cannot have this bleeding over into the Sweet 16 and the regional finals. Cannot have it. In this particular case, I thought it was tight. If you call it a foul, I don't have an issue with it. I do think he embellished the action to draw the call, and I think the official in real time might have thought and caught the embellishment, and so that's why no whistle was blown. And then Taylon Terry, he wants it so bad. If that had actually counted and he got it off in time, it's an all-time ending to an NCAA tournament for multiple reasons. One, there's no foul call, so the outrage is even greater than what we're talking about now. But then it's a walk-off dunk to win a tournament game. It would have been amazing, but it would have been controversial. I'll give you that.
Andrew in the comments wants to know if you, Norlander, were officiating the Baylor North Carolina game.
I was not. I was actually waiting for someone to say why isn't Norlander wearing glasses? But I get it. I completely understand. We've got a few people in the comments that are saying that they actually thought it was more than a flop. You do agree though that he did embellish? Like, come on, man.
I think it is possible that he sold it, but that doesn't mean he didn't get fouled. He might have embellished it, but he still got fouled. And here's the problem. Okay, refs didn't call it. Well, then it's a backcourt violation. You got to call something.
I know. I don't. And so we'll finish our talking the game here, but real quick, I simply want to have answers for how the whistle isn't blown in that situation. I want answers for 17 things that happened in UNC Baylor. And it wasn't just those two games. There has been stuff here and there. I'd have to go back and look. There's another game where both fan bases were just irate at the officiating. And I mean, it's probably every game, but that's fans for you. But there was another one where it was pretty rough. But yes, I don't get how you do not blow your whistle in that situation. Time and score for players, for coaches, for the officials. And it was also what's the game Quinn was at? Oh, the freaking tech for hanging on the rim. Illinois,
That's
we'll get
awful.
there. Come on, what are we doing? And the fact that the officials don't have to speak to this, I'm not saying after every single game you got to trot all three of them up there on the dais and have them speak to the collective media. But every so often, yeah, aside from a written statement that is like 4 to 5 sentences, which we occasionally will get, it would be nice if there was simply some more accountability from the officials, especially on this stage. I don't think it's asking too much. I understand the reasons why they don't want to do this because they don't want to make officials even more of a visual target. They don't want to trot them out in front of the media so even more people can get, an up close and personal look at who they are, their face, their name, and they become more even ingrained. As it stands now, most people watching the NCAA tournament, 99% of them don't know who these officials are. Only the hardcores that follow this thing all season long know who Bo Borowski is, for example, or Doug Shows, right? But I still don't think that's a good enough excuse to not at least have these guys. These are extremely competent human beings that, for the most part, are very good at their job. And by the way, they're not full-time college basketball officials. They have other ventures and occupations in their life where they are successful, and they are wonderful people to talk to. I think plenty of them would actually handle themselves quite well if they had to face 1 or 2 or 3 questions. Again, I don't even want to put them on a dais. That's fine. Face-to-face with one pool reporter, but it's an actual give and take conversation with the reporter. It's not, we're a reporter. Right now, the process is we're a reporter. Here's a question or two that we're submitting. All right, we take your question. Then we explain it to you. We hand you a piece of paper with a printout of an explanation. That's it. No, face-to-face, record it, get it done like that. Until we have that, I think you're going to leave a lot of people unsatisfied with the process when the officiating fails, as it failed at the end of regulation of what was still an incredible game between Arizona and TCU. Again, among the top 3 we had in an amazing first weekend. We're already at 7 OT games, by the way. I believe it's 7. One more will tie the record all time for most in one tournament.
Yeah, so officiating has been a storyline in this tournament, and not for good reasons. And listen, some of this stuff is bang stuff. It's subjective, and reasonable people in the moment could see it different ways. Like I got it. And if you want to say the end of regulation Arizona TCU falls under that umbrella, I disagree, but whatever. I wouldn't fist fight you over it. But some of this stuff is just outrageous to anybody watching. Like Melendez getting a tech for hanging on the rim in the Houston, Illinois game. And I know that people will then say, well, according to the rule book, if you can watch that and justify it, quote, according to the rule book, then change the goddamn rule book, right? I mean, it's outrageous.
And you can't even justify it according to the rule book on that specific dunk, hang on the rim, momentum carrying him. Continue.
It's outrageous. I mean, the way college basketball officials handle things is so backwards. A player will get a tech for hanging on a rim after a dunk. NBA players can hang on the rim, do a flip, grab their balls, doesn't matter. Nobody says a word. It's all fine and celebrated. It goes viral. College basketball player looks at somebody after he dunks and he gets a technical. That's not an exaggeration. Looks at somebody after he dunks, he'll get a technical. A college basketball player hangs on the rim. Technical. Like, if you can justify that by the rule book, change the rule book. It's outrageous. Why can you give a tech to a player for hanging on the rim, which is completely harmless? And honestly, the only thing it might hurt is your own transition defense. Like, there's an inherent penalty to hanging on the rim, like, because the other team might be playing 5-on-4 the other way. So let that just be handled by the flow of the game. Hey, you should be able to, and I'm not joking or exaggerating or trying to be hyperbolic. You should be able to hang on the rim as long as you want. Like, if you want to hang on the rim for 15 seconds, as long as you're off of it by the time the other team's trying to shoot, back down the court. When they come back down your way, then you're fine. As long as you hanging on the rim doesn't lead to basket interference, you should be fine. I don't care anything about that. Meantime, we've got a system where college coaches can MF officials all game long for 40 minutes.
You are.
And that will not lead to a technical foul. You are better off as a coach MFing.
Well, I mean,
the entire game.
I think if you actually do drop an MF on an official in most instances, that's an immediate one. But yeah, I know what you're saying.
Coaches yell at the officials nonstop.
They do.
It is outrageous. Yeah. It's so funny to me. If you ever sit courtside at these games, the refs come out right before the game and they all shake hands with the coaches. It's like you'll see a coach. He'll shake hands with all three officials. Oh, hey, Jimmy, how's your kids go? How your kids doing? Everybody's all fine, smiling, shaking hands. Soon as the game starts, it's like, what are you doing?
Dude.
Call the GD foul. Blah 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 blah. It's crazy. In the NBA, coaches are not allowed to just yell like that at officials the entire time. Get more in line with the NBA when it comes to this stuff. Hang on the rim as long as you want. Celebrate dunks. We don't care. Coaches, you're not allowed to cuss out officials all game long. We will call techs for that. The way this thing, college basketball works, is so backwards and stupid. There was, I know that you and Cobb, I guess, talked about this on Saturday night's podcast. Yeah. Brady Manick. Like,
yeah, I mean,
okay, like, if you could kick him out of the game for that, according to the rule, then change the rule. This is outrageous. Like, there needs to be a real overhaul ASAP.